The common understanding of story is that it's a telling about past events. And therapists are all about that. We like to hear about people's childhood. But this approach to story only scratches the surface of the potential within client narrative, because stories are not just about the past. Stories are also about our current and ongoing lived experience and the future potential and direction within that lived experience. Stories are the imaginative patterns within which we live. Stories guide us towards this experience and away from that experience. Stories are like a filter that shapes and guides the possibilities of our lives. And on the forthcoming workshop with Online Events, I will be sharing how to work therapeutically with this expanded understanding of story. Because it seems to me that therapy is a place where people come to find a new story. Their current story about who they are and how they are in the world isn't working anymore. Some unscripted character or event or experience, whether a global pandemic or a separation or an illness, has erupted into their lives, and the old story can't make sense of this new unscripted material. And so they come to therapy, and our job therefore is to help them find a new and expanded story within which these new events and experiences and characters make sense, and that allows people to move forward in their life. Hence the title of the workshop, A Time Between Stories, Reimagining Client Narratives. And we'll be helping people to find a new story, not by forcing or squeezing them into some kind of pre-fabricated or idealized fantasy story, that never works, but by helping them cultivate the imaginative capacity to go on a journey and discover not a pre-planned story, but the actual emerging story that's there anyway in their life trying to unfold. And this will draw upon ideas and methods from my book, Waking Dreams, Imagination in Psychotherapy and Everyday Life. So we'll be covering important topics like, well, what is a story anyway? How do we notice the repeating story pattern within clients' narratives? And then also, how do we share that story pattern therapeutically with clients? Not as an idea, not as a static analysis, but how do we share that story with them as an ongoing and lived experience within which they are inhabiting? And lastly, how do we help people cultivate the imaginative possibility to notice a new and emerging story, and also process the fears and the anxieties that are there around letting go of an old story and stepping into and trying out a new story? So if that sounds interesting to you, do come along to the workshop with Online Events, A Time Between Stories, and I'll look forward to seeing you either live in the Zoom and or afterwards in the recording, which will be made available. Okay, thanks for watching.